It's Oklahoma Archery. Everything archery based out of Oklahoma for Oklahomans. Let's get it started. Hello, everybody. I'm David Bosca.
I'm Neil Cooley. Lawson, we'll let you introduce yourself, my friend.
I'm Lawson, and I shoot for Elite Archery in Lindenwood College, and been shooting for quite a few years now, and I'm excited to be on here.
Well, man, we've been waiting to get you on, and I feel like it's a pretty good time coming off this ASA season. I just want to tell you congratulations.
Yes.
And for anybody that lives under a rock, I don't know how you haven't heard, but Lawson had probably one of the best rookie years in the Open Pro division that the ASA has ever seen. So Rookie of the Year and second place for Shooter of the Year in the Men's Pro Division. Man, way to come out swinging.
Thank you.
That I think I speak for a lot of people in Oklahoma when they say it was nice having somebody to root for on Saturday afternoon. So I know you're in college over in Missouri, right? Missouri?
Yeah.
We're still going to claim you as an Okie for now because you're originally from Stillwater, America. Guess that means pistols firing.
I don't know about that.
Not a hometown team fan. All right, man. Well, tell everybody just a little bit about your equipment, and you shoot a little bit of everything, so I figure we can talk about a little bit of everything.
Yep. So I shoot the Elite Verdict. I'm only running 60 pounds. So I've had a couple over the years, and I started with a little higher poundage, but I really settled in with the 60 pounder that I've been shooting for, I think, over a year now. And I mainly shoot it because I don't really have to do much with it. Shooting collegiate events with my school, you got to be under 60 pounds with the world archery rules and stuff. So it's kind of a hassle moving back and forth, but that's the main reason I shoot it, and I kind of just fell in love with it, and it fits my shot style. So basically I don't really have to do much to switch back and forth between arrows, and pretty much good to go with that. I shoot for Shrewd, True Ball, downrange optics, lenses, Show Me strings, all them good products help me.
What kind of arrows?
Like the Ultra arrows, Scott releases. Set it up the way I like it, and have been working good so far.
Well, since you just came off the 3D range, tell everyone what your setup is for 3D. Arrows, power, scope, stuff like that.
Okay. I'm shooting the 60-pound Verdict. I'm shooting Ultra 23s, I think they're Centrum Premiers or whatever they are. 300 spine with 120 grains up front. 4-fletched with Q2 eyes with some biter knocks. And then I shoot a 6-power downrange optics lens with a Optum 29 Shrewd scope. I think I'm running a specialty peep. I think it's the number 2, which is like a B in Hamsky. I think that's about it.
Well, cool.
How big a pin? Shooting a 10 or 15?
15 thousandths. Yep.
15. Okay. Do you find that the 23s are easy because you got to go? I assume for your collegiate stuff you have to shoot 23s as well, or is it just the extra 10 yards being out to 60 for the pro class?
I'd like for there to be a reason, but there's really not one. It's what I had, and I've just started shooting them and never really tinkered around with anything else. I'll probably try some 25s next year just because on paper they should shoot better, but I just never played around with them. So I just shot what I had.
Well, what are your initial thoughts coming off your very first year in the pro division? Because it's funny to me that when I started shooting 3D archery, you and I were in the same class. Like, that is absolutely criminal and should be investigated immediately. But you spent a little bit of time in 45. I think you spent 1 year in K50, one straight out of there and went to the pros. So looking back on the year, what was your biggest thing going into it that you thought, and then a year later, it's like, what do you think now?
Yeah, coming off to it, starting the year off, I knew I had what it takes to be competitive, but I didn't really expect it. You don't see a lot of guys just jump right in and be competitive, but I think in K50, out of the 6 Pro-Ams, I got first and second at 4 of them. So I knew I had what it takes. Like, once I got there, I think I knew I'd be fine, but it's just jumping in and trying to get there fast. But I didn't, to be honest, it wasn't any of my first initial goals to start. I wanted to try to win Rookie of the Year. I was pretty confident I could do that. And I wanted to make a couple shoot downs, but didn't really have any expectations of podiuming or winning or any of that. But
the extra paychecks didn't hurt the college life, did it?
I wasn't complaining, no.
Okay.
So for anybody that didn't, I think we only had 5 of them this year because London was canceled, and you made 3 out of those 5, right?
Correct.
And we saw you on the field at Coleman holding the umbrella for Mr. Shaw. Shout out to Aaron. He's a good kid. He was on my stake the very first Pro-Am I shot. So we saw a whole lot of you on Saturday afternoon, man. That was and the craziest thing to me is that you see different guys out there every single Pro-Am. Like, it is an incredibly deep division that's full of talent. And man, you just kind of became a household name out there. What was your favorite one? Did you like indoor shoot-offs versus outdoor, or no preference?
It's kind of hard to say. I think you can probably definitely see better outside, but they're all a little bit different. I mean, indoors, the lighting was good, but the targets are like hard to really pick up on definition and stuff. But outside, you also got to fight the wind and all that. So it's kind of 2 different battles. I mean, I'd say Minden was probably my favorite just because I went in with the lead and kind of got to relax a little bit more, even though it didn't turn out the way I wanted. But I felt like it was the biggest like learning curve for me for the most part, basically because I could just settle in, stick with a game plan, even though I didn't have to like shoot at every 14 or anything, coming in like 5th or something like that.
Yeah. A little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to make the shoot down. It's hard to shoot in the shoot down. How hard is it to run the numbers in real time? Because you got 4 other guys shooting 12s, 10s, 14s, and everything. Do you have somebody back behind you that's like, okay, you need to push, or can you count them that quick in your head to know when to gas and when to brake?
No, that was the biggest thing for me. I had in my umbrella man or coach's box, Remington Boyer. He's from up around school. I shoot with him all the time. So I was really comfortable with him, and he's been a lot of shoot downs and won a couple. So it's like just having somebody that was experienced and knew how it was going to be, and definitely having them run the numbers for you just takes a lot of thinking out of it, and you can more just focus on the process you're used to and not changing it up for the most part.
There you go.
Are you the type of guy that on your site you want to run the numbers and you dial it to 59.3, or are you the type that likes an actual 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 site tape where you can actually put it where you want it, like that, 62 or 59? Or
no, I usually dial it to whatever my rangefinder says, and depending on what the target is and that, sometimes I'll take like 3 clicks out just for a little wiggle room. I don't know if it really makes much of a difference, but it seems like it helps.
So you run an actual site tape, not you don't run off of the other setup.
Yeah, I've never tried doing that. I've always just ran a site tape. It's usually wrong.
Archer's Advantage is what it's called, I think, or Archer's Mark.
I've never used that either.
I can't figure it out, dude.
I've seen the new Precision Cut, I think is what they're called too, but I've just never tried them. I just use the metal ones out of the box.
Yeah, find one that works top and bottom and go with it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, give or take a few feet, what do you think your foot per second is?
Last time I chronoed it, it was 269.
Okay.
Probably the slowest bow on the range, if I had to guess.
I've heard a lot of, because, everybody judging yardage has to be at max speed because they're trying to get that flat trajectory. But I've heard a lot of the known pros are down in the 250s and 260s, and it's like, it's known, make the bow shoot, lob them in there. So
it's definitely, especially at 60. I mean, my 23s are fairly heavy, but you get some wind drift shooting slow. I mean, Mint wasn't windy, and like 55 yarder, you'd drift an inch, and it was in the trees and not even blowing.
Yeah, it was, the wind was a factor that weekend, and not only that, but swampy and humidity and cottonmouths everywhere and mosquitoes the size of birds. Yeah, it's, dude, just, I mean, surviving the weekend to make the shoot off is an accomplishment, just coming off the range. But getting to see you out there with people a couple years ago, we're all watching on TV, and now we're watching Lawson. I was like, hey, he used to beat me every weekend, man. I'm glad he's getting to beat up on somebody else.
What does the tournament week look like for you? What do you prep going into it? When do you show up?
I usually take it pretty easy. Drive in on Wednesday normally. Sometimes I shoot, sometimes I don't. Not really much decision to it. Just depends what I have time for, how far the travel is. And then usually I go out Thursday. I used to shoot the team shoot and elite known and stuff like that, but here lately I've just been shooting practice range, make sure stuff's dialed in, fine tune it. And other than that, I really don't do much. Hang around. I don't shoot a whole lot of arrows during the tournament, which I probably would if I had to, but I just lately seems like less is more for the most part. So I'm just trying to keep it simple.
Fair enough.
Is it something are you traveling with your college team, or are you traveling with your family? What's your
No, when I'm at school, I usually hitch a ride with a few of my teammates and other people around there. But when I'm at home, I went with my family to the past one, but I also traveled to one by myself. I usually stay with some of my teammates and Missouri people, so just hang out and have fun.
What is your cuisine of choice the night before the tournament?
That's a tough one. It's hard to beat a good hamburger just for fast and simple.
Okay.
It's a college budget, man.
Yeah.
Gotta cut costs everywhere. And everybody talks about the seafood and the Cajun food, all these different places we go. I'm like, y'all don't want to push the envelope too much and be out there 7:30 a.m. because pros, I'm assuming y'all shoot 7:30 a.m. Friday?
9 on Friday and 7:30 Saturday.
Lighting is an issue then.
Yeah.
Just for everybody out there that might be listening from nationals, as a member of the pro class, when would you say the best time for pros to shoot should be? If you could wave a magic wand and have it anyway.
I feel like 9's a pretty fair time. I don't think it's too late. I think it's early enough. I think 2 9:00 rounds would be fine, but it's definitely pretty dark at 7:30. There's nothing to aim at almost the first, anywhere from 1 to 5, depending on the lighting. But I mean, 9:00. By 9:00, you can normally see pretty good.
It's comical to me. Don't take this the wrong way, but everybody's there to compete. But you got pros that are the best shooters there with the most on the line. If it's 7:30 and the sun's not all the way up, it's really not right to say, okay, you're starting on 1 and you can see, and you're starting on 10 and it's a dark target in a hole. Like, I think we ought to push them back a little bit. And you never want to be out there in the heat of the day, like, 1, 2 o'clock, it's getting brutal hot in the summer. But I would like to see the pros have a little bit more sunlight just for competition's sake.
It definitely wouldn't hurt. That's for sure.
So did you get a chance to, or have you had an opportunity to play with the new Elite bow?
No, I haven't yet. I shot it, probably 30 times at Coleman, but really haven't messed with it a whole lot. I'm going to try to get one here pretty quick and see if I can get some arrows through it.
So the verdict is a 39, 38 or 39?
I think it's almost the same. I think it's 37 and a half.
Okay.
I think 3/4 maybe 37 something.
But you like that a lot more than the 35 models, the Exalt. Did you play with that?
Yeah, I shot the Exalt. I never really set it up for target. I just used it to hunt with. I like the verdict platform, so I didn't really see the need to switch.
Well, it's working for you. I don't think you need to change a whole lot anyways, but do you ever get any kind of pressure from the company to say, hey, man, we sure love to see you shoot the new model?
No, I haven't yet. I definitely looking forward to playing with the new one, see how it treats me. I think the new feature with the cable adjustment, I think that'll be pretty nice. So
yeah,
I've been appreciating it on the dart and bows pretty much, just because you don't have to go to a press every time but I mean, I think that there's so much technology they're putting on these new bows that we can all just have a universal, put everything on all of them, and whatever sticker you want on the limbs, roll with that. I mean, eventually in 5 years, I don't think anybody's really going to need a bow press, and that's a scary thought, but between the shifting of the axles and the tuning of the limb pockets and the changing of the timing, like Last Chance Archery's got to be getting scared. I mean, sales are going down. So setting up a new bow, what's the first couple of things that you look for? Are you a bare shaft tune guy? Are you a make it hold good and then slap some stabilizers on it? Like, walk everybody through the process on what you're looking for in a tournament bow.
Yeah, my process, I don't really have a super defined one. I haven't played around too much. I don't know if many people know this about me. I never messed with any of my own stuff till this year. I never fletched an arrow till this year. So it's I've been a learning curve for sure. I've learned a lot in the last year, just being up at school around the bow press and having a lot more resources handy. But when I get a new one, I typically just, on the verdicts, I usually shim the cams over. It seems like you have to, just about, to get them to shoot a bullet hole and just more in line for the most part. And I start just by slapping a rest on and shooting a bullet hole through paper. And then I pretty much just go straight over to shooting it and trying to get it to aim and go from there. I have started knock tuning each arrow, which seems to help with the consistency, definitely, just from arrow to arrow. I never really thought much of that before, but it makes a lot of sense, and I think I'm going to add that into my initial process as well.
How high in the burger hole are you running your arrow?
I'm not exactly sure, but it's definitely high. I think it's either bottom of the arrows, like touching the top of the burger hole, or maybe even a little higher.
So you do have it really high.
Yeah, it's I need to look at it, but I think it's definitely like on the Elite logo. Definitely, my arrow is definitely in the Elite logo a little bit. So
I think the last 3 or 4 I've set up have been like looking at it and it's like, that can't be right. And then you pull it up and it just kind of sits. And I'm like, well, eyeball test checks out. I mean, it's hard to say what's right and what's wrong and what works for everybody else. But if you're running a bunch of stabilizer weight and you tend to miss low, just pop that just a little bit higher, man.
It's definitely become more common. I've seen a lot of people starting to do that lately. So got to be something to it.
What kind of weight are you running on your bars?
22 on the back and 18 in the front.
Wow.
30-inch front bar, 10-inch back bar.
Okay.
Yep.
It's pretty stout.
So my shot, it's kind of, I think, static. I don't really do much pulling. I like just a relaxed shot, not much tension. And then why my bow's so front heavy is it just kind of pulls for me. It kind of sounds weird, but the way the leverage is on it, that's why I run the 10-inch bar. It seems like it just kind of makes the leverage a little more forward. It doesn't really affect the aim much. It just seems like it keeps me on the back wall without having to, like, I don't know, tense up and pull super hard.
What let off are you running?
I got the 75% mods from Elite on a 60-pound bow. I don't know what I'm holding or anything.
Yeah. Okay.
It's completely on the, I guess it'd be highest let off. So probably about 16 pounds of holding weight, maybe.
Pretty comfortable. Like that's probably about what I'm at. And I'm
probably pretty average.
Like 13 and 19. Oh, Dave's down at 6 pounds.
I think average unless you're 60 years old. Come on.
Well, that's different.
We're going to get Dave to an ASA. It's going to happen.
He'd probably love them.
I've shot hundreds of them in the past.
I told him he can ride up front with the adults, or he can ride in the back, duct taped and hogtied. It's choice is yours.
It's a good time.
I'm gonna hit some of the locals next year.
There you go.
And believe it or not, I'm eyeballing some 25s. That's the setup I'm looking at. Yeah.
It's a lot of people's go-to.
Well, I studied the 23s and I'm studying the 25s, and outside of the wind, the 25s in most part are a little bit lighter.
Yeah, that's why I said when I don't really know why I'm shooting 23, I think 25s is probably, it makes sense that they'd shoot better, especially with how slow I was shooting. A little more speed and a little stiffer would probably get me a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try. My head's got me playing on some of those with the 120 tips in them. That's what I'd start with. Maybe 125s, but in that ballpark.
Yeah.
I'd shot 25s for the past 2 or 3 years and set up 23s this year because that's what I had laying around, and the bow just liked them. And the ones I was hitting, they were catching and didn't need any extra. And the ones that weren't hitting, it was not the bow's fault that it wasn't hitting. So I've always been a big arrow kind of guy. I mean, 25s for 3 or 4 seasons in a row, and went with the 23s, and Bo just kind of liked them. So I didn't know if that was because your collegiate stuff had to be at 23 and under.
It's there's really no reason. I've shot some good rounds with 23s. I have no complaints about them. I just didn't really ever tinker with new ones. So
when you and we'll kind of fade into some indoor here. When you shoot indoor, when you go to Vegas and stuff, do you slap the 27s on, or do you roll with the 23s year round?
No, I started shooting 27s. I used to. I think first 2 years I went to Vegas, I just shot 23s because that's what I had. But the last few years, I've definitely switched to 27s. I don't see any reason not to shoot 27s inside.
20 yards, chip
20
shot.
yards, lob them down there.
Yeah.
How much point weight in those?
First year I shot championship in Vegas, I shot 150s. And then last year I switched to 200s. They seemed a little more forgiving. So we'll see. I don't really know. I'll probably play around some more this year.
I did the same thing. I've got the Ultra Premier 27s right now, and I started at the 150s. I went to the 200s, and I'm at 225 right now. And I tell you what, but with my draw length and stuff, but I'm light poundage, so it doesn't. I mean, I think it equals out, but I tell you what, I thought the 200s were money. I really did, till I tried the 225s. So just for what that's worth,
worth tinkering for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the difference between the 150s and the 200s was pretty night and day.
Yeah, I seen a lot of left and right difference. Is what I remember seeing. And then when I went to the 225s, it just seems like the groups just tightened up just a little bit more. Yeah.
I'm actually running 140s in them right now, just trying to get them gone a little quicker. Because what I've noticed is when I have a weak shot, I'm missing low. Like instead of right out of the 10 at 6 o'clock, we're 8-9 liner 6 o'clock. So trying to get them off the rest a little quicker. I just slapped a bow together. I mean, 3D's not, I mean, kind of over, not really over. You've got so collegiate nationals coming up.
Yeah.
Kind of tell everybody about like what is it like being a collegiate archer, and what tournaments does your program kind of go to?
Yeah. A lot of collegiate programs they're definitely growing, and there's been a lot of swing towards people going to college for archery. It's a great avenue to go if you want to keep shooting but don't have I'd say full time to devote for it. There's still plenty of time you can still shoot or go to school and still focus on archery for the most part. That's what made the decision easy for me. I wanted to keep shooting, but I was worried if I didn't go to archery program school that stuff would just get in the way of archery. And so I'm pretty happy with the decision that I made to go to a school, and Lindenwood couldn't have been a better one for me. The coaches up there are great. Joe, Derek, and Bob all do a great job getting everybody what they need and organizing tournaments and stuff. We normally go to collegiate nationals. That's one of the big 3Ds. And then regionals for 3D. And then the couple indoor collegiate shoots. And then our team normally goes to Vegas. And I think we might try to go to a couple more, maybe indoor nationals, since it's fairly close to us in Memphis this year. I think it's only 4 hours, so we might go to that one. And then collegiate outdoor target. I haven't been to that one yet. I actually just set some skinnies up yesterday. First skinnies I've ever had. So
that's coming up here pretty quick, isn't it?
No, I think that one's in next May.
I'm thinking the NFAA stuff. Yeah.
The First Dakota Classic /
Oh, yeah.
Target.
Yeah.
That one's in September, I think.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. Two nationals in 3 days. I mean, it's a lot of shooting for a 9-hour drive. I mean,
I haven't been to that one.
It's pretty fun, man. I don't see why, if you're shooting a pro class hitting a quarter at 60 yards, why you wouldn't take your 23s. But if you're going to lob them all together like that, you're going to have to take 3 dozen of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna destroy at least 20 of them. But you'd look at some of those pro groups down there where they'd have 4 pros on a bale and no one's left the 10 ring, and it's just a wad of X10s down there like that.
Insane.
I'm like, how do y'all score that? Like, all right, who's out? Like, just count how many X's you have and write them all down as 60 for the 900. Like, it's impressive. And then you see the normal guys' targets where your groups are like this big. Like, most of
them. For your school, your archery program, what are you getting? What did they entice you with to come and shoot archery in Missouri?
So Missouri, I think this school has a lot to offer when it comes to just people and equipment knowledge, I'd say. One of our coaches builds strings. That's who has shown me strings that I shoot for. I learn a lot from him, and he's definitely taught me a lot about tinkering with stuff and kind of basic knowledge of how to set stuff up. That's been huge to me, just having somebody I can watch and learn from. And then just people. There's a lot of great knowledge in Missouri other than the program, just in general. And there's a range 5 minutes from school. So It just makes it – everything combined just made it a pretty easy decision, let alone being part of a team and just having the social life and having fun in college and still getting to focus on archery.
Do they have most of these collegiate events that you go to? Do they have both individual division and team division?
Yeah. Collegiate nationals, everybody shoots their individual round, and then you shoot 2 days, pretty much just a normal ASA, 40 targets, and then that gets divided by scores into top 3 for teams in each division or each discipline, and then your individual also gets taken as well.
Who do you normally get partnered up with from your school?
Gage Kellett. I'm sure you guys might know him. I think
Yeah.
Neil probably does for sure. And then Justin Hall, he was on the team. He graduated though, so that's Easton's going to take his spot. So that'll be fun to shoot with some more Oklahoma people and hopefully win.
Yeah, it's a group of killers. We were happy for Easton when he decided on Lindenwood, but at the same time, it's like, man, he already beats us so bad. He's going to go there and be amongst the killers and come back and just absolutely wax us when it comes to Vegas jackpot and stuff like that. So, you know, it iron sharpens iron is the best way I can say it.
It definitely does. Just being in the range.
Be sure, and you better haze him. He's coming in as a freshman now. Don't go easy on him just because he's your buddy.
Yeah, well, won't take it too hard on him.
What I was gonna say, what's the best advice if you got a young archer out there that's 16, 17 years old, they're looking at different colleges. You've been in there, you're going into your junior year. What would you tell them to look for in different programs? You know?
Yeah, it definitely, there's a few things to look at. I kind of focused on school. My decision was narrowed kind of based off what majors were. I'm an environmental science major, which wasn't my first choice, but it's kind of what fit me the best. And a lot of the other schools didn't have much to offer that really interests me for the most part. But I'd say put school first, since that's what you're going there for. And then coaches and all the teammates and all that. That's just a big part of making it fun and easy and enjoyable and learning the most you can from it. So I'd say those two things are probably the biggest to look for and will ultimately impact probably the most.
My dad told me when he dropped me off at college and there wasn't an archery team there. He's like, you got to make sure you're happy, because if you're not happy, you're not going to go to class, you're not going to study, and you're just, everything's going to fall apart if you can't. And when he dropped me off, he's like, are you sure this is where you want to be? We can have you enrolled in Stillwater by December if it's not. And I was like, nah, I think I'll be all right here. And off he drove, you know. But that was the biggest thing I try to tell people, because you hope most of them are going to shoot archery in college. Like when I went way back in the, you know, ye olden days, you didn't have collegiate archery teams and tournament bass fishing as a major. And now it's like, dude, if I would have known that, I would have turned out to be a totally different person going into undergraduate studies. But
it's great to keep people motivated to do better, and also just having something to do in the meantime that's still what you value and not having to just kill yourself at school.
Have you thought about plans after college?
Not a whole lot. Not yet.
Having too much fun, man.
Yeah.
Don't want to think about it ending when it's so good right now.
Yeah.
Man, being able to shoot in college would have been pretty good at keeping me out of trouble, and probably pulling grades too, I guess. I mean, do you have is it like a no pass, no play kind of thing? Do you have academic requirements?
To a certain standpoint. It's not super strict, but you definitely can't just go fail.
Coach makes you go to extra tutoring for math or psychology or something.
No, don't want you skipping class.
Yeah, dude, if you show up, and I would always tell, we'd have guys in the fraternity that never had a syllabus or a professor or anything, like, take the syllabus, write all the dates for when everything's due in your calendar, and then go flip a week back and make sure you have a note to start, but go make up a question. You don't really have to have a question, but go to office hours. They're there for 2 hours twice a week, and they like professors have to keep regular office hours. Be like, hey, can you look at my rough draft that's due like two Thursdays from now? Or did I read this right? And they're going to remember your face and be like, oh man, that Lawson kid, he had it right, but he still came and asked. I'm going to give him, you know, if you're at a B+, they're going to bump you to an A-. Or if you had 6 absences, they're going to bump you up to 5 absences or something like that. Just go get a little bit of like FaceTime with them. And that goes further with those professors. Because how many do you have in a class? Is it a small school or is it like 300 people in the room?
No, it's It's pretty small. It's D1, but the class sizes are really small, so there's not. It's really that's another reason it's a pretty good school. There's a lot of athletes, so a ton of different sports programs, and then smaller classes especially. And as gone as much as I am for collegiate stuff and ASAs and stuff like that, just being in class and getting to know your professor really goes a long way, especially, I mean, I miss a lot of school.
Yeah. It was the same way when I was on the debate team. It's like when he's here, he never shuts up, but he's gone for half the week, every other week. And it's like, yeah, dude, if there's only 19 people in your class, they're going to remember you not being there. So always tell people, man, go get some FaceTime in with the professors and just like, hey, I want to make sure my rough draft looks like the right thing. And it might take a red pen and scratch through half of it. Like, well, the intro's good and this one section's good. Make the whole paper about this and scrap the rest. I was like, oh, let me go redo that for you real quick, bud.
So, Neil, the scenario of what you just threw out there, does that work on the indoor judges when they're calling arrow?
No, they pretty much tell me if I have to walk down there, it's going to be out. So,
maybe the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, squeaky wheel does not get the grease. And then you've got guys that are like 12 points down in the fourth inning. They're like, can I get a line, Judge? I'm like, it's a 7, bro. Like, all right, come on down. And he comes over with the little magnifier and the little light shine on there. It's like, yeah, man, get down there and find a way to make that 7 and 8. And they just shake their head at you. But so what's your favorite tournament that you've gone to?
Ooh,
could be indoor, 3D, outdoor.
Vegas is definitely up there just because it's Vegas and just fun, even though it's a week of a lot of different stuff. But Foley's probably my favorite. I'd say year to year, Foley's probably my top one. I just enjoy going there and a little different scenery and a good shoot for the most part, unless it's freezing like this year.
Yeah, it was cold this year. Was it 2 or maybe 3 years ago that when you were in K45 and just almost cleaned that first round?
I think it was
3.
It would have been, yeah, not 2 seasons ago, I guess. This season and K50 year, and then it was the year before that. So
Lawson shows up Saturday morning, and there's a guy on his stake. I don't know his God-given name, but he goes by Junebug. And I joked on him. I was like, hey, Lawson, go easy on these guys. They all got to go to work on Monday, man. Just maybe don't leave them as scorched earth. And we're turning the corner 17 or 18 targets later, and this guy's got this look on his face with his eyes this big. He goes, this kid don't miss. And I was like, yeah, man, we see that every weekend. He goes, no, he's literally 17 out of 17 12s right now. And I was like, yeah, welcome to my life, bud. It don't get no better. That was a good one. Okay, so what about a tournament that you haven't been to yet that is like bucket list? Like, where do you want to go to?
Let's see. I've never really shot a USAT, any of them, any outdoor target really, or anything that requires skinnies. I've never had any skinnies. Redding's on my bucket list, and then I'd like to shoot a little outdoor target just for fun.
You got the Olympics to look forward to in a couple of years.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not too experienced with it, so.
You said you're setting up skinnies. What are you playing with?
I got some Ultra 204s that I built, so test them and see how they work.
What kind of vanes could you fit on those arrows?
I 4-fletch Q2I. I think they're 2.1.
Okay.
But they're lower profile, so they're fairly long, but a little shorter, or a little not as tall.
Wow. Yeah, that's such a small shaft, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's not. I think 166s is their smallest, but they were a little too heavy for what I shoot. I went with a little bit bigger, but they seem like good arrows. I shot them a bit last night and didn't have any complaints.
That's a big footer to get a 4-fletch on. Something about like that right there. A little 2.1. I mean, look at
that. just a touch shorter.
Yeah, look at the footer on that thing. I mean, you'd almost have to overlap them on a 166.
Yeah, I did it with my hunting arrows. They're close. They fit, but they're close.
The part of the podcast Dave gets to chill out on. Let's
What?
talk deer hunting. Have you found a buddy over there that's going to let you come kill a monster in Missouri?
Oh, maybe. I'm sure I can talk somebody into helping me.
I mean,
you're in Turkey area.
Turkey, yeah. There's a lot of turkeys.
Yeah.
You get 5 absences, and I mean, archery can't. I mean, that's a school activity. That's excused. So, I mean, about the time Thanksgiving comes in, time to fake COVID, I can't smell anything. I better not go.
Yeah.
Go kill a giant. Keep it off social media till December.
Woke up sick,
man. Can't breathe. Can't taste. Yeah. It's getting about that time, but man, October's coming. It's ready. So 204s, if you're at 204, be a hunting shaft too, wouldn't it? That's a 5 mil.
Yeah, I think. I'm not sure. That's about a hunting shaft. Maybe it's probably a 5 mil.
Yeah,
not
I think 246 is standard. 204 5 mil and 166 4 mil. I don't know. It's metric, dude. This is America. The hell with that.
Small enough.
What was your you said you hunted with the 35 Exalt. Is that what you're planning on hunting with this year?
Probably. I might try a different one, but we'll see. I really haven't thought much about it. I pretty much just set it up like a target bow. I think I ran a Achieve XP on it and the Optum 35 and just a little bit shorter bars and 70 pounds.
What rest are you running?
I shoot Hamsky.
Okay.
So drop away.
You said that for your 3D bow, you were shooting a 29 millimeter Optum.
Yeah.
Is that to get it to look how you want with a peep sight size, or was that, for clarity or target acquisition?
It's kind of, I don't know. I put it on one day. I tried it. I got it, and then I tried it for World Archery stuff where you got to shoot the 23 inside because you can't use a light. So I had it, and I had a 19 thousandths pin, and I shot it the first probably, I don't know, I shot it for like 3 days, and I just couldn't stand it. Then I just started shooting it more, and once I got used to it, I feel like I just started shooting way better. I don't know. I don't really understand what it is, especially in 3D. I can't see near as good as I can with a bigger scope. Like the target, I can't see any rings or anything, but it feels like it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know if it's the way it centers in the peep or what. I can't really put my finger on it, but ever since I switched, it just seemed like group size went down and consistency went up for me, which I never really expected. I never played around with anything but a 35 before. So
I think most of mine are 35s, but I use the little reducer rings to kind of keep me honest in the peep sight. And 29 for field, for outdoor target, it gives you more clearance on the bottom. So for like redding or anything like that, 29 is the way to go, 100%. But I'd never thought about running one for 3D. And now it's, there definitely might be something to tinker with there because
at the indoor range I shoot at, kind of when I had like I don't know what you call it, but the moment I realized it's probably more accurate, I was shooting inside a Vegas face at 30 yards with my just 3D setup, just trying to, I think it was for Foley, actually. No, it was for Fort Benning. And I had 2 sights set up. They were basically just the same, but one had a different size scope. And I was just shooting them at 30, and I just couldn't shoot the 35 for some reason. They'd just throw them everywhere. And then I put that 29 on, and I could make not a bad shot, but a not great one, and it still just lessened my misses for some reason. So I don't really know what it is, but I'm probably not changing. It seems like I like it more. It kind of had to fine tune it at first. The 15 thousandths pin came along just because stuff washes out with the 6 power and stuff. And I had to run to get it really clear for like target. I ran a smaller aperture. I don't remember what size power, but it was the second smallest in the specialty box. I don't know how big it is. Pretty small. But it was just a little too dark for 3D, so I had to run the bigger one, which washed my pin out a bit. So I up to the 15 thousandths and seemed to be a really good happy medium. So,
well, Neil, if you ever want to play with a 29, I got a couple Shibuya 29s with a wide variety of glass for it. So let me know.
Might be something to look at.
Yeah.
I been pretty happy with my Optims just because I can switch from a pin to a dot for like going to outdoor target or something. Like I'm usually running a 10 or a 15 and it washes out on that yellow, like when we're shooting a 900 round. So for me and the way my eyes are, if I'm shooting dots, it's going to be a dot. Like for field, like for target, I'm going to put a black dot on there. For anything field, I'm going to put the UV, or that's like a glowing orange kind of thing, and I'll run that light at that 45 degree in that shroud in that housing. I know it doesn't do any good for USA archery because you can't have a light, but my eyes just won't pick up a pin, so it's like post and go. And I've done it like 3 of the last 4 years where it's like, I'll turn it up and I'll flare it out and I'll get that fiber to where it shows. And you get out there in the yellow with the sunshine and it just washes into nothing. And I'm like, well, post and go again. So I'm going to shoot a black stick-on dot for the next time I shoot the State 900.
I played around with dots. I just never, especially indoor, there's a lot of people that shoot them and have good success with them. I just can't have, like, I'm going to play around with them more this year, but in the years past, I just couldn't get used to them.
So going from 3D into, I know you got another 3D in collegiate going back to Foley, but what kind of changes do you put between your 3D bow and your indoor bow? Is it pretty much the same or totally different setup?
The main thing is just switching to 27s, and that'll probably be about it. I'll probably tinker with stabilizer weight. I think at Vegas last year, I think I ran 20 on the front and 19 on the back, but it was a 12-inch bar, so it kind of distributed a little differently. So I'm not sure. I'll have to tinker with that now that I switched to 10-inch bar, but it might be a little more even. So
a little more front heavy for the follow through.
It seems like it. Seems a lot more consistent for me. So,
well, I know we've talked about just about every part of the bow, but the question everybody wants to hear, button or hinge, and why?
I can't shoot a button anymore. I punched for a year. Target panic got me, and I gave up.
So hinge all the time then?
No click hinge. About the only thing I shoot.
Which one?
I shoot a 4-finger Scott Ascent as a 3-finger.
Nice. I like that Scott Ascent. Yeah.
Yep. Not a big fan of the 3-finger, but the 4-finger just with 3 on it seems like, I don't know, I've shot that for over a year now. I have no complaints with it.
That 4, you can make it move a little bit easier. Yeah.
It seems like it, especially just, I like the weight of it. And if you do want to shoot 4 fingers, it's right there. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Did you ever toy around and just do it as a 2-finger?
I think I have a few times. For a long time, I shot a Select as a 2-finger. I still have that one. I got it set up with a click in it, I play around with it a little bit and see if I ever want to go back to a click. I'm sure I will one day, but I still like the no click for now.
The Select is one that's got the dual moon where it can adjust the click. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I think it's just basically an aluminum version of the Ascent. It might be a little bit different angles and stuff, but very similar.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying the no click indoor season. Just stare, pull, and if you can, follow through. And I mean, I'm going to shoot between a 288 and a 292 on a Vegas. It's been that way for 4 years, no matter what bow I shoot or what setup or what arrow. So I think I shot like a 95 or a 96 the other day with skinnies of all things. Like, all right. And the ones I missed, it could have been a 30 diameter shaft and it wouldn't have helped, So it's like just getting in that indoor mindset of, well, we're going to be here. It's going to be awful. You're going to hate it. You might as well smile and make a new friend and don't be the reason somebody else has a bad time.
I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to getting inside.
It's air conditioned and it's heated.
Yep.
And it's easy. You don't have to go out in the heat.
That's
shoot
right.
20 yards.
Yep.
You don't have to, you're not wasting an arm and a leg's worth of money on bug spray and traveling all over. Indoor range is 15 minutes away. I guess you said 5. 5 works too.
Yeah.
What's the best advice for on the mental side of indoor that you could give somebody? Because it's a grind, and if anybody didn't see, we all saw you up there, shot a 900 with the, in the championship division. So you've been to the top of the mountain as far as indoor goes in the Vegas pressure cooker. How do you keep your head about you?
Yeah, I think I mainly just try not to think about it too much. It sounds easy. It's definitely not, but just kind of block out the little voice inside your head for the most part. And then, especially during the shot, I really just focus on my process. And usually if I have any struggle, it's just getting to release the fire. So mainly just talking myself into that, like relax, rotate, what finger. I mean, kind of changes tournament to tournament. There's been some tournaments I just try to focus on relaxing, and that works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. You got to focus on, I don't know, applying pressure to a certain finger or something like that. Really just trying to repeat the same thing every time and not letting it get too big, because in the end, it's just shooting.
And if that doesn't work, a little scotch or bourbon?
Maybe. Haven't played around with that one.
I'm thinking collegiate here, buddy.
Yeah.
Got to be in the team budget. That can't come out of the athlete's pocket. That's NIL fund right there.
I mean, if it works, it works.
There you go. NIL. Do you get any NIL?
No, I don't.
I didn't know. That was a good one. That's a good thing to think about, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the face of the archery team right now.
I've never thought about it either.
That's got to be good advertisement for the school. I mean, they might have a football team that goes 6-4 or 4-6 any given year. They trot out the archery team, and it's like podium, national champion, rookie of the year, podium finish, Vegas shoot off. Like, that's got to be. I mean, I don't know. Results don't lie, so it's got to be a good return on investment.
I hope I do what I can for them.
Tell them meal ticket, at least a meal ticket.
Yeah, we usually get the trips usually covered, so they definitely do their part.
Surf and turf lobster buffet in Vegas. Oh yeah.
Maybe not that budget.
Well, that may be the budget, but it's going to be at QT.
Yeah.
Man, I saw you at Vegas the last year that I was there. You were kind of green around the gills, man. Is that the year? Is that the year you had like the flu or something?
Yeah, the last day of the tournament, I think I got the flu. That was probably the worst I've ever felt. Or right after that, I slept terrible that night, and then we flew out that Monday. Our flight got delayed like 6 hours, and I ran out of all my medication, and nobody else had any like ibuprofen or anything. So it's like, man, that was a long flight. Probably worst I've ever felt. Hopefully that never happens again.
Well, I mean, it worked out pretty good coming off a 900 and 4 or 5 ends in the shoot down.
Yeah, I don't know if I made it that far. I think I only made it like 3.
Was it all the way to the X's as 10s, or was it right?
Yeah, I made it to the X's as 10s, and I think I got out.
That's just wrong.
For the rest of us that never had made it to that world, do you walk off the stage and they hand you a cup and say, "Here, go pee in that"?
No, I don't think they drug test anybody but the top 3.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I didn't get drug tested.
the real question for going back to Vegas, are you gonna run one arrow if you get all the way to inside outs, or are you gonna take skinnies with you? Because they've done it differently in the last couple of years, where you got to shoot an X to get a 10, and then they start going to inside outs. Are you looking at maybe running 2 arrows when it gets down to that stage?
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that works, like what they're going to do with that. If they're going to let you switch, or if it's going to be 1 arrow for the whole tournament. I don't know if I would switch. It'd be pretty tough not to, but I just don't know. Like, Matthias is obviously one of the top shooters in the world. It didn't work for him. I know he's close, but I don't know. It's kind of a tough spot.
Yeah, to me, you'd have to practice the switch at home. Okay, I know this is this. I know I need to go 22 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then to know exactly what it's going to do and how it's going to react. But my whole thing is, I've heard a lot of the different people talk about, well, they need to set the rule and bring this. Do you shoot with what you start with? My whole deal is this the championship open? Leave it open. Let them do what they want. That's what I think it should be. I don't think it should be mandated all the way down to what arrow, you shoot with what you start. If it's the open, let it be open. If they want to take off a front bar or a weight during the shoot, what's that matter?
Yeah, I can see it both ways. I don't know if it really truthfully matters. People would probably, if it comes back to get them, it comes back to get them. I think you'd almost be better off if you did switch, just having a different bow. I don't know if it'd be smart or not. You definitely have to play around with it, but it'd be.
Do you think you can get 2 bows to feel the same, or is there always going to be a little bit of difference between them?
I've never had 2 feel the same, but
Me
I'm
either.
not.
I agree 100%.
I've come to that sad realization that you cannot clone a bow. They're all zebras. No 2 are going to be alike, no matter how much you measure and tinker and twist, and it's different.
That's the reason I rolled and I went with that QAD tri-RAS and switched, swap them out so simple and easy. But I didn't agree. I gave it the whirl. I shot it 4 or 5 months, but the blade just wasn't my game, my jam. So I went back to the Hamskea, but gosh darn it, I wish they would come out with, there's got to be a way to make that switch somehow. I don't know what it would be, but man, they got to come up with something.
Yeah, especially with everything that's happening nowadays, it's going to be more important.
If it's nothing more than a cartridge for the rod that slides it, leave the body, leave the cord, leave everything, and make a quick disconnect where you can change the rod out. Something. Yeah.
I don't feel like, I'm no engineer, but I feel like it'd be fairly easy to work something up.
I think there should be something that on the old style Hamskea releases to where it's an open cage area. You can quick disconnect on the body, pull that out, and slide another pin with the blade on it. Yeah.
Speaking of engineers and Hamskea and people that run the old style hybrids, because I couldn't shoot the Trinity because it would smash my hand, and the Epsilon had the same problem. So when they came out with the Everest, I thought it was going to be micro tune, and I was like, okay, that's the new hybrid. The Everest is not a micro tune, but what they told me at I went to the Pro-Am and I was like, are y'all still discontinuing the hybrids? Because I'm pretty upset about it. And he's like, well, yes, we are. And I was like, well, I've only got 14 of them, so y'all better come up with something in the next couple years before I run out, or I'm going to be even more upset. And he goes, well, I got news for you, sister. You can buy the mount for the Epsilon and it'll interchange to the Everest. So you can take an Everest flipper like this without the bar on the bottom and mount it on the new attachment and have a micro tune on there. So you're still for everybody that doesn't want the Hamsky underbar on there, because it was like 4 shots in the top of my hands, bruised and purple. So
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I gotta run the old hybrids, but eventually they're gonna get full of dirt and grit.
See, I'm running the Trinity. Yeah.
Can't get away with it. Which one are you running?
Trinity, I believe.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's got the full capture around it and comes up with that extra bearing on the outside.
No, I don't think mine has that. I don't know what I'm running, to be honest. I don't know which one it is.
Have you played with different amount of correction on your Hamsky? Like how much? Do you know how much it travels down your arrow before dropping?
I did on my Exalt a little bit. I've never looked at this bow. I really don't have any idea.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people with that. Man, mine's about halfway. And I don't mind it. They say they want it up off of it quicker. Well, I don't know. Seems to be okay for me that way.
Depends on your follow through. If you got a good follow through, it's not going to hurt you. If you got a poor follow through, the quicker it gets off and gone, the better. So it's all about shot style.
Yep.
Maybe that's it.
Well, Lawson, we got an hour of wisdom to digest from you. Is there anything else that you would you'd want to include to somebody that's thinking about going pro or thinking about shooting tournament archery? What would you tell them out there?
Just keep your mind open and do what works for you, and don't overthink it. I think personally, winning up through all K40 and K45 and through known 50, I don't know. I think it prepares you the best to jump into there, but that's just me. I don't know. There's plenty of other guys that don't have to do that, but that's the route I took. And even though I guess you could consider a late start compared to like my friends, but I liked doing it that way. I feel like it benefited me and allowed me to grow more before I got to the real deal.
Cool.
So what you're saying is leave a big trail of bodies in your wake.
I guess you could put it that way.
Everything from young adult, K40, K45, K50, slaughtered them all. Next year at the ASA State, we're going to have hopefully have a separate range for pros and have a shoot off style. So I know not this year, but the last year you came and won our K50 division, but hopefully next year you'll be out of school and be able to come back in July.
Yeah.
And we're going to do everything we can to recruit some, not only known pros, but also open pros as well. And have y'all shoot 20 targets off to the side and then catch a break from the heat and come do a shoot off in between the morning and afternoon round and be a good exhibition. I want the pros to be able to compete, because at the state level, it's like, what am I going to shoot from the black stake, or we're just going to shoot a fun round? Like, I want you guys to be able to come, have a little bit of pressure, a little bit of money on the line, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely put that. I wanted to come this year, but I had something going on, so I couldn't. But that's definitely on my radar for next year. Come out and support all the hard work you guys are doing to get things where it needs to be. Keep it growing.
So for the 60-year-old plus class, do you have a 25-yard max, Neil?
Yeah, we'll let you shoot known. We'll let you shoot super senior known 30.
30. That's all I need to know, man. 30 yards. Okay, I'm in.
Got a medical exemption based on poor eyesight and low self-esteem.
And I need one of them dog fetching arrow fetching dogs and stuff. Yeah.
There you go. Call line judge on every target. Well, Lawson, tell everybody your sponsors. Give it anybody you want to give a shout out to one more time. And I know you're busy. We don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah, Elite Bows. Let's see, Show Me Strings, and then Downrange Optics. Those are some great lenses. True Ball XL, Ultra, Scott, and then everybody that's helped me along the way, family, friends, people at Lindenwood, mentors, and all the people that support me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely working for you, man. I'm looking forward to next year for you. it's going to be a hard one to follow up, but I know you're up to the task. So, go enjoy indoor season, maybe kill a couple deer, and just right back February in Foley, man.
Yep. You guys too.
Yeah, Lawson, we appreciate the time.
No problem. I'm glad I can get on here. I know it's been a long time in the talking and just finally worked out.
He's not just rookie of the year in the open pro class or the known pro division. He's also the record holder for most invites to the podcast consecutively.
My apologies.
No, man, appreciate you playing along. We're all rooting for you in Oklahoma. We still claim you, even though you're over there on the far side of St. Louis. So keep hammering, dude, and big next year coming up for you, man.
Take care, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Thank you. Bye.